What if I told you that a massive hole the size of a small country mysteriously appeared in Antarctica? What caused it? Was it climate change, underwater volcanoes, or something even stranger? Let's dive into the story and uncover the secrets of this ice. It all started in September 2017. Scientists were monitoring satellite images of Antarctica when they saw something unusual. In the middle of the frozen Weddell Sea, there was a massive hole. This wasn't just a small opening, it was 77,000 square kilometers, about the size of South Carolina or Scotland. The hole was so big, it could be seen from space. The discovery shocked researchers. The ice in this region was supposed to be frozen solid during winter, but instead, this massive opening exposed the dark ocean beneath. This wasn't the first time it had happened. A similar hole had been spotted back in the 1970s. Then, it disappeared without a trace. For decades, no one saw anything like it again. But in 2016, small patches of open water started forming in the same area. Scientists watched closely. A year later, in 2017, the massive hole reappeared. At first, researchers didn't know what caused it. Ice in Antarctica doesn't just melt away overnight. The temperatures were freezing, yet the hole refused to close. Powerful winds swept across the region. Cold air should have refrozen the surface, but this polynya stayed open for weeks, baffling scientists. It was also in a remote part of Antarctica. No human had seen it up close. Satellites and robotic equipment were the only ways to monitor it. Even then, researchers struggled to figure out what was happening beneath the ice. One thing was clear: this was not normal. Antarctica's ice is important for the planet. It reflects sunlight and helps regulate the Earth's temperature. But a hole this size could change the way ocean currents move and how heat escapes into the atmosphere. Some worried it could be a warning sign of bigger changes coming. When the polynya appeared, scientists scrambled to figure out what was going on. They came up with several theories, each offering a different explanation for the mysterious hole. One of the leading theories is that warm water from deep in the ocean rose to the surface. This warm water melted the ice from below, creating the hole. The Maud Rise, a massive underwater mountain in the Weddell Sea, might have played a key role. It disrupts ocean currents, causing warm, salty water to rise. This process is called upwelling. When upwelling happens, it can prevent sea ice from forming, allowing open water to remain even in freezing temperatures. Another theory involves the weather. In 2017, there were strong winds and powerful storms in the region. These winds could have pushed the ice apart, preventing it from freezing back together. Normally, the ice would refreeze quickly, but if the winds were strong enough and continued for weeks, they could keep the hole open for much longer than usual. Some researchers also considered underwater volcanic activity as a possible cause. Antarctica is home to several active volcanoes, both above and below the ice. If one of them had erupted, it could have released heat and gases, melting the ice from below. However, there's no direct evidence of volcanic activity in the area. So while this theory is interesting, it remains speculative. Of course, whenever something unexplained happens, people love to speculate. Some wondered if the hole was hiding something even more mysterious, like a secret military base, an undiscovered ecosystem, or even an entrance to a hidden world. Could there be life thriving in the dark waters beneath Antarctica's ice? Could humans be conducting secret experiments in the region? While these ideas are fun to think about, there's no scientific evidence to support them. The most likely explanation is a combination of natural forces, including ocean currents, strong winds, and unusual weather patterns. The massive hole remained open for weeks before finally disappearing. But how did it close? Scientists analyzed weather patterns, ocean currents, and climate data to find out. Antarctica is one of the coldest places on Earth. Even though the polynya remained open for a long time, the brutal winter eventually took its toll. As temperatures dropped, the surrounding ice began to spread inward. Cold air froze the exposed seawater, gradually shrinking the hole. Over time, the ice completely covered it. Winds played a big role in keeping the polynya open. Powerful katabatic winds, which blow cold air from Antarctica's interior toward the ocean, helped stir the water. These winds pushed warm water from deep below up to the surface, preventing the ice from reforming. But as the season changed, the wind patterns weakened. Without strong winds to mix the ocean and atmosphere, the surface water cooled and ice was able to form again. Another major factor was the change in ocean currents. The polynya formed over the Maud Rise, an underwater mountain that influences how water moves. This region experiences upwelling, where warm salty water rises from deep in the ocean. This warm water kept the polynya open. However, scientists believe that shifts in the Southern Ocean circulation eventually stopped the upwelling. With no warm water reaching the surface, ice was able to form again. One of the biggest mysteries was how the Polynia stayed open for so long in freezing temperatures. Scientists now believe that deep ocean heat plays a major role. Normally, cold water sits on top of warm water, keeping it trapped below. But in this case, strong winds and ocean currents brought warm, salty water to the surface. This melted the ice and kept the Polynia open. Once those forces weakened, the warm water sank back down, allowing new ice to form. You might be wondering, why does this matter? It's just a hole in the ice, right? The 2017 Polynia could have serious implications for our planet. Here's why. Polynias play a key role in global ocean circulation. When they form, they release heat and salt into the atmosphere. This can affect ocean currents, including the Antarctic bottom water, which drives the global conveyor belt of ocean circulation. If more Polynias form, it could disrupt these currents. This could have far-reaching effects on climate patterns around the world. Polynias also contribute to ice melt. When warm water rises to the surface, it melts the ice from below. This can weaken the ice sheet, making it more likely to break apart. If this happens on a large scale, it could lead to rising sea levels. Some scientists think the Polynia could be a warning sign. As the planet warms, we might see more of these holes in the ice. The 2017 Polynia was a natural event, but climate change could make such events more frequent or more severe. The 2017 Polynia eventually closed. The ice refroze and the hole disappeared, but the mystery remains. Will it come back? Scientists are still studying the Polynia to understand what caused it and what it means for the future. They're using satellites, underwater drones, and other tools to monitor the region, but there are still many unanswered questions. Could this be a sign of rapid climate change? Are there other hidden forces at work beneath the ice? And perhaps the most intriguing question of all, what other secrets is Antarctica hiding? The story of the 2017 Antarctic Polynia is a fascinating mix of science, mystery, and speculation. It shows us how much we still have to learn about our planet. So the next time you hear about a giant hole under the ice, don't just shrug it off. It might be a clue to something much bigger. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you in the next one.